Fantasy football fans, this is Josh from Josh and John Sports. I'm here to talk about fantasy football. I won in week 1, and I started Tom Brady, and I'm so happy that I did. I wasn't sure if I should start him, Tannehill, or Sam Bradford. Well, thankfully I made the right decision by quite a good margin. I dropped Tannehill this week and picked up Marcus Mariota as fast as I could. I was a little surprised that he was still on the waiver wire. I was 6th out of 10 on the waiver wire, but nobody picked up Marcus Mariota, and I happen to think that he is going to have a good season. And I was very disappointed in Tannehill. The numbers he put up against Washington, I think it's just a bad sign for the rest of the season. He could do really well, but I was watching a lot of that game, and I was just not convinced that he's ready to be a blooming fantasy football quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback, possibly underrated, but then again, even Tom Brady is not always considered to be a big fantasy football quarterback. I drafted Tom Brady 116th in my draft. Part of that was because of his 4-game suspension, but another part is because a lot of people don't believe that Tom Brady is an amazing fantasy football quarterback. He was this past week, though. And I'm making a fantasy football video. So anyway, but Ingram did really good. Nate, stop. Okay, I gotta do this. I mean, I don't have to, but I really want to. Okay. Eddie Lacy did good. Laundry had that kick return for a touchdown, and he had a lot of catches, which is good for the point per reception league. All in all, I had a really go away, Nate. What's wrong with him? I can't focus on fantasy football. My tight end was Jimmy Graham. He had about 14 points for me because we're in a point per reception league. There were some other tight ends that did really good that are even free agents. But I have Jimmy Graham. I thought about trying to pick one of them up, like Tyler Effort from Cincinnati. He was on our free agent wire. But I didn't pick him up, and someone else picked him up early this morning. And I am just really excited about next week. I'm not sure if I should start Tom Brady or Marcus Mariota. I picked up Mariota, dropped Tannehill. It's tough because Mariota's playing a bad Cleveland team, but I think Brady's going to be throwing a lot against the Bills. And he's such a good quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. So I think I might just stick with the guy who was my hero in week 1, Tom Brady. I was thinking about sticking with Lacy, of course. He's playing Seattle, but I think I ought to stick with him. I'm going to definitely stick with Ingram. He's playing Tampa Bay. I think he may be my best running back in week 2. Then I'm going to actually stick with Alfred Morris as well. I think Andre Johnson's going to have a bounce-back week playing against a team that's not as good, in my opinion, as the Buffalo Bills, the defense. I believe it's the Jets. It's really interesting. I think I'm gonna win. I dropped my kicker, picked up Matt Bryant. I had Nick Folk for the Jets. Matt Bryant had 17 fantasy points last game. As a kicker, I think Atlanta has been. I mean, they moved the ball really well against Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, I did not start him last week. Good thing I didn't, because he had like 1 fantasy point for me, like a 5-yard catch. Everybody thought, man, he's Philadelphia's second wide. Philadelphia throws so much, he's going to have an amazing game. That didn't happen. If he doesn't do something here soon, I may have to drop him and look elsewhere as well. I dropped Doral Green Beckham on the Tennessee Titans and picked up James Jones, who had 2 touchdowns for Green Bay. Just like, you can't go wrong with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. Spreading the love in a PPR league. I don't know. I just thought James Jones is the way to go. He's on my bench this week, but I may find a good chance to play him sometime here in the future. Also, depending on how Nelson Aguilar and Andre Johnson do. Um, James Jones might fit into a wide receiver 2 role.